Do you live anywhere in this red zone? If so, you need to pay attention to this video. We are looking at 5 straight days of severe weather across the central US, and this could become a full-blown outbreak. I'm meteorologist Andrew Markowitz, and here's everything you need to know. A massive dome of high pressure will be firmly entrenched over the central and eastern US, leading to persistent southerly flow from the Gulf that will make its way northward toward the plains and most of the Midwest. This means that the atmosphere will be quite unstable, and that opens up the door for strong to severe storms each of the next several afternoons. For Saturday, April 11th, the SPC maintains a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for this yellow zone in Texas and New Mexico. Scattered storms will develop in the afternoon, and the main threat would be large hail before transitioning to a heavy rain and wind threat overnight. For Sunday, April 12th, the main area of concern is this yellow zone in southern Kansas, central Oklahoma, and central Texas. Once again, the main threat is for large and destructive hail along with damaging winds. Severe weather is also possible as far north as the Twin Cities and western Wisconsin, but it's a more conditional threat and therefore favors lower probabilities. But as we look ahead to the work week, that's where the threat becomes much more widespread and substantial. That's because we have an intense upper level low that will enter California this weekend and will press inland to the Rockies and then eventually the plains and Midwest by the middle of next week. As our trough moves closer, it will bolster the jet stream, and that will lead to a big uptick in mid to upper level wind speeds. At the same time, warm moist air will lift way to the north, and that will allow temperatures in many areas to surge into the 80s. This will create an unusually high amount of potential energy, perhaps in excess of 3,000 joules per kilogram across this area. This means that if a storm develops in this region, it would have a ton of rocket fuel to work with, which would allow it to grow quickly upscale. For Monday, April 13th, the SPC is highlighting this yellow zone, which stretches from central Texas to southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. This includes places like Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas City, Omaha, and Des Moines, among others. For Tuesday, April 14th, this risk area covers over 50 million Americans, stretching from central Texas to the Midwest and Great Lakes. This includes the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas City, Des Moines, St. Louis, the Chicagoland area, Milwaukee, Fort Wayne, and Grand Rapids, among others. And on Wednesday, April 15th, once again, this area covers a large swath from Texas to the Illinois-Indiana border. At this point, it's too far away to get into the nitty-gritty details, but I do think that all hazards will be on the table. Flash flooding, damaging winds, large hail, and yes, I do think at least some tornadoes will be in play. I do think the potential with this, if everything comes together, is pretty significant, and some areas will certainly be upgraded to a level 3 risk as that becomes more apparent, maybe even beyond that in the top-end scenario. Having said that, I do know that there are some overzealous storm chasers and weenies out there that are calling for a super outbreak invoking 2011, and I think that that is utterly ridiculous. Honestly, that stuff is just blatant fear-mongering that doesn't help anybody. So summing this all up, if you live anywhere in this red shading, then over the next 5 days, you need to be paying close attention to the weather. There is no need to panic or do anything crazy at this point, but if we get closer and things get upgraded, then you may need to do some preparations. For continuous no hype, no fear-mongering updates on the severe weather, please make sure to follow me on all social media platforms so you can stay weather aware.